I've been posting lots of content recently about action cameras because in the last couple of months we got lots of action camera releases and we got lots of firmware updates for these cameras. So I wanted to test these firmwares for you, but now it's time to talk once again about this DJI Osmo Pocket 3 that I really love. In today's video I'm going to show you what I like about this one, who this camera is made for, how to use it in the proper way, what are the new released accessories that I really love for this camera. You're gonna see everything in today's video. Let us start. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. I'm Photorabs, a portrait photographer based in France, and I like creating content about vlogging kits, cameras, anything related to cameras actually. If you are interested in these kind of topics, I highly appreciate if you go subscribe to my channel. That's a massive help. This video is not sponsored by DJI or by any of the brands that I will mention in today's video, but if you are interested, please check my affiliate links down below. Whether you want to buy this camera or the accessories, I have affiliate links down below. If you are willing to start your journey in 2025 as a content creator, whether food blogger or even travel blogger, or maybe content creator on YouTube for vlogs and so on, or camera reviews and any other kind of content creation, this camera is a camera that you should have in your kit, in my opinion. So let us start talking about it. In the last couple of years, we've seen lots of cameras in the market, whether compact cameras, point and shoot cameras, action cameras, mini drones, these kind of pocket size cameras, and even smartphone gimbals, because lots of people prefer creating content with their smartphones. And all the brands are requiring new content creators to be able to show new vision, new way of filming, new way of sharing content about the products, and that's something very healthy in my opinion. In today's video, I'm not going to talk about the specs of this one in details because it's been in the market for more than a year now. You've seen lots of videos. I made lots of videos as well about it, but in today's video, I'm going to show you my vision and what I think about this camera, who this camera is for, and how to use it in the proper way. Stay tuned because at the end of this video, I will show you how to get some cinematic footages with this one, what are the settings, how I configure my camera to get crazy shots. First of all, this camera has a 1-inch sensor with a wide aperture, allowing you to blur the background in your shots. So if you are using it to vlog, for example, you will be separated from the background, and that's something very important and very pleasing in my opinion. You can also have the product showcase capability on this one. It's a feature on this camera. So for all content creators who would like to showcase some products, like I'm doing now with my Fuji X-H2S, you can do that with this tiny little camera. So you can do exactly the same with this camera, and that's something very beneficial. If you are doing some live streams, you can do that also with this one. You can go live with this camera connected to your phone. And yeah, you can have a camera with a gimbal that can go live stream in anywhere without issues at all. And you can have the product showcase features. You can vlog with it. You can have nice blurry background without problems at all with a click of a button. Number 2 on my list is the low light capabilities. Because we have a 1-inch sensor, we have a wide aperture on this one, we can get very nice quality when we are shooting indoors, if you are shooting in a restaurant, in like indoor events and so on. I took this camera, by the way, to a fair, to an event that I shot a few months ago, and I made some footage with it in indoor situations. It was very dark and very dim, not so much light, and the camera performed really well. No one knows that this footage came from this one instead of my full frame cameras and my Fuji X-H2S. And because we have a gimbal on top of this camera, you will not worry about the shakes, you will not worry about stabilizing the footage. You don't need the electronic stabilization whatsoever. The gimbal works perfectly and you will get smooth shots with this camera. Number 3 on my list is the dynamic track, which is a great feature that you have inside of this camera that personally I don't use much, but I'm happy to have it because whenever I need it, I know that I can rely on it without issues at all. Once you activate it, this camera will track you around, and that's something very important if you'd like to take some dynamic shots for yourself, for your vlogs. This is now easy to do with this tiny little camera. But how I would like to use it, if I'm filming someone, I can track him and I can just follow him with my camera, and the camera will do everything for me. The gimbal will follow the person that I'm tracking, and I'll keep him centered or on the side of the screen with just a click of a button on the screen, and that's perfect in my opinion. Number 4 on my list is the capability to shoot vertically and horizontally without like changing the camera on the gimbal and so on. But that comes at a certain cost, because when you are shooting in horizontal mode, you get 4K footage, but when you are shooting in vertical mode with this camera, you get 3K footage, which is more than enough for social media. And if you are shooting vertically, of course, you will put these footage on your social media, and 3K is more than enough. Number 5 on my list, this camera is too small, too compact and lightweight. As you can see, it can fit in your pocket without problems at all, but please protect your gimbal head before putting it in your pocket. This is very important in my opinion. This camera, although it's too compact and you can use it in your daily life, but when it's cold outside, I had some bugs with it, so keep that in mind. And this is not a waterproof camera, so do not use it under the rain. I have the DJI Care Refresh, so I'm still under the warranty of this Care Refresh, but if you don't have that, don't use it when it's too cold outside, and don't use it when it's raining outside. Number 6 on my list is that this camera, although it's small, but it has some pro features. You can shoot in 4K 120 frames per second for extra slow motion shots, and it has 10-bit D-Log-M, so if you are recording some videos with many cameras and you'd like to match the colors, this camera has this feature, and that's very important. For me, for my type of use when vlogging and so on, I don't really use the D-Log-M. I use the D-Log-M when I'm doing some specific kind of videos. I'll show you my favorite settings for the D-Log-M by the end of this video, by the way, stick around. But when I'm doing my vlog, I keep it in normal color profile, and that's more than enough for me for my type of use, and you will get, I assure you, great footage. As I said before, this camera is on the market for more than a year now. Lots of third-party manufacturers made some accessories for this one. I'm going to show you my favorite ones that were recently released. I made a video about the accessories before, but this part is dedicated for the newly released accessories for this camera. Let us start with this fall cam piece here, which is a great one because it will not add much weight to your camera, but it will add lots of mounting options to the camera, so you can put it in almost all the ways possible and you will get crazy shots. You can keep it on your backpack, you can keep it on a tripod, you can keep it in your car on a suction cup, so you have endless possibilities with this piece from Falcam. And by the way, if you use my affiliate link down below, you can get up to 20% discount on all Falcam products with my affiliate link down below. K&F Concept recently released lots of new accessories for this camera because this camera is still selling like crazy. It's been more than a year now in the market and the sales are increasing and increasing, and in many places, in many shops, in many countries, it is out of stock because this camera is something that all the content creators are trying to have recently. So K&F Concept released this USB-C holder, or I can say USB-C mount for this camera, which is very important because every time I come back to my apartment, I would like to charge the camera, whether I plug the external battery and I charge the camera via the external battery, or I have to put my USB-C here to charge it, and then I have to pose my camera on its side on the table, and I don't really like that. But with this USB-C mount, I can put the camera on it and I can charge it while standing vertically, and that's for me something very important. Add to that, with this USB-C mount, you get lots of options. You have the GoPro feet to mount the camera on any GoPro mount, and you have also the 1/4 inch thread as well. The focal length of this camera is 20mm, which is good, but in my opinion it's so tight when it comes to vlogging and so on. And of course we have the wide angle from DJI that comes at a certain cost, but K&F Concept made a good quality glass that brings you from 20mm to 15mm, which is ideal for vlogs in my opinion. And by the way, all the accessories that I'm mentioning in this video, you can find them for cheaper than $30 US. And if you use my affiliate link, whether from Falcam or K&F Concept, you will get up to 20% discount on all the products from Falcam and K&F Concept. And speaking of K&F Concept, a few months ago they released a variable ND filter, very thin, that you can put on your camera, and you can even pack your camera inside of its housing with that variable ND filter. Of course, a variable ND filter at a cheap price, you will have some color shifts, which is for me not of a big deal, let's be honest. But if you'd like to create some very high-end content with this one, you must have like fixed ND filters for your camera, and Candid Concept made some high quality glass for ND filters for this camera, and you can find them also via my links down below. These ND filters will allow you to stop the light coming to the camera, and you can adjust the exposure manually, and you will get some crazy footage with this one. The minimum focusing distance of this camera is 30 centimeters, which is fair enough in my opinion. But lots of creators were requesting to have something closer, and Candid Concept listened, and they made a macro lens for this one, so you can get up to 3 or 4 centimeters close to your subject, and you can still film in high quality. And that's insane if you'd like to take some close-up shots for your food in a restaurant. Then with this kind of glass, it is possible. And for those who would like to go cinematic with this camera, Candid Concept made an anamorphic lens 1.2x on this one. It will require somehow some post-processing techniques and some post-processing time, but you will get crazy footage and nice looking anamorphic shots with this small tiny little camera. Candid Concept made also this selfie stick, a 120 centimeters that weighs only 200 grams, and this selfie stick, it has a 1/4 inch screw, so you can use it with the USB-C adapter for this camera, and you can use it as a selfie stick. And whenever you want to use the camera on a tripod, you can just open the legs of the selfie stick and you can use the tripod built in this stick here. And this is something very important because once again, this selfie stick costs less than $30 US, and if you use my affiliate link, you can save 20% discount on it. What do you think about this camera? Do you like it? What do you think could be better in this camera? Let me know that down below. Let me know if you are interested in getting one in 2025 as well. And by the way, if you are interested in accessories, what are the accessories that you use with this camera, and what are the accessories that you'd like to see coming for this camera? And now in this section, I will talk a little bit about the D-Log-M, because although this camera, it has a great automatic mode that you can just take it out of the box and start shooting and get crazy shots, but it has also D-Log-M, and I've been seeing lots of people using the D-Log-M in a wrong way, in my opinion. And it's only my opinion, it's my way of using the D-Log-M, because I've been seeing lots of people using the D-Log-M in auto mode, and for me that's not how it should be. Lots of people said that if you are shooting in D-Log-M, you will take your content creation to the next level, and I can assure you it's not true, because if you would like to shoot in D-Log-M, there are some other settings that you have to tweak inside of the camera in order to get that cinematic shot, that professional look, and in order to get that amazing kind of videos. So let me show you how I use the D-Log-M, well, my personal settings for the D-Log-M on this camera. First, I set the resolution to 4K 16:9 ratio, 25 frames per second. And then I go to exposure, I set it to manual, 1/58 of the second for the shutter speed to have that cinematic motion blur. The ISO, I set it to the minimum possible, 100 if the light around allows me to do that. I use ND filters when I have much more light coming, and these are my settings for the exposure. I set the white balance to a fixed value. I can set it in the way that I want in order to have the look that I want for my footage, but I don't keep the white balance in auto to avoid that color shifts in my videos. And of course, I don't use the automatic exposure because I don't want to have that exposure shifts as well when I'm making my D-Log-M videos. So basically, I use the D-Log-M only in some scenarios when I really need that flexibility to color grade or to deliver high quality footage to a client or even to myself. And that's the only way I'm using the D-Log-M and these manual settings on the camera. But by the way, don't forget to go to the autofocus settings and set it to single and not continuous, just to avoid having that hunt between your subject and the background every now and then in your footage. So that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit like, to subscribe, And if you are interested in this camera or the accessories, please feel free to check my affiliate links down below. The most important thing when using this camera is to be creative, to enjoy the process. If you are not familiar with color grading, then do not bother, go to D-Log-M, just use the automatic mode, the normal color profile, and you will get great footage out of this camera. Don't use it under the rain, don't use it if it's too cold outside, and you are good to go. If you'd like to use it in D-Log-M, if you'd like to take your content creation to the next level, it's not the camera, you have to unleash your creativity. This is number one on the list, and then later on you have to tweak the settings in order to have the look that you'd like to, and of course you have to know how to edit your footage based on the look that you would like to share, that you'd like to have on your videos. And that's it for today. Once again, thank you for watching and see you on another one. Go create some videos.